Nice. Well, good to hear. What's
Yep.
the latest news so far?
So I deranked from GM2 yesterday because there are literally throwers every single game, or Smurfs. Like it's always like that at the end of the season for some reason. Like everyone's throwing, and I don't know what's going on. So rank is basically unplayable until the next season starts, I would say.
Well, think about it this way. If there are throwers, then there's equal amount of throwers on each team, right? So
Oh
what
no
does
no
it
no
mean?
no! It's always on my team. It's always on my team. It's not on
Always.
the enemy
So
team.
it's rigged.
Yeah, yeah. It should be like look. Basically, yesterday we had a thrower on our team, right? And the next game after it, he was against us. Okay, and he was throwing, but they had a Smurf. Like before even the game started, one in our team he said ban Psylocke. They have a Smurf Psylocke, and he was level like 24 or something. We banned Psylocke, and he played Daredevil, and he went like 14 something, and he shitted on us, even though they had a thrower. Like this guy was crazy.
Yeah, I would say don't pay attention to it as much because again, this is something what you cannot control. At the end of the day, just focus on what you do. Yeah, this
Yeah,
way
I know. Yeah.
it's
But I
all
mean,
right.
like most of the games yesterday were kind of like it's either they were like not long games, like 7, 8 minute games. Like they were only. It's either our team is throwing or their team is throwing. But most of the time, our team is throwing because the throwers is always on our side for some reason.
Well, that's okay. That's
I mean,
okay.
yesterday we had one thrower against us, but we had like five on our team, which was crazy.
Well, I would say
Yeah.
just at the end of the day, if you play like top one rank player, then those servers for the most part would not matter as much, right? So it's okay.
Of course, of course. Yeah.
You can just focus on whatever the concepts, the
Yeah.
ideas. So it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, don't let those games affect you. I guess that's my main take for this.
Yeah.
anyway, that's understandable. Sometimes there will be games like that where you get a server and it will be hard. Yeah, maybe, but just make sure those games are not affecting your future games mentally and should be alright. Because a lot of the times, what I also notice, most of the time at least, and 90% of the cases, because players been fixating on just somebody throwing, and because those games are affecting them mentally, then they start losing the next games, which could be potentially winnable. Even though they had a thrower again or something like that, yeah, you just kind of the previous games are affected you. That's why you start
Yeah.
losing the next game sometimes.
Yeah.
But
I know it's mental sometimes.
yeah. So
Yeah.
always a look into that too. Yeah, make sure that you take a break. Make sure that you also maybe if I usually recommend if there are two losses in a row, then it's
I
okay.
I get off. I get
Yeah,
off. When
yeah,
when I'm
exactly.
when I'm committed, when I'm like actually trying to rank up, I stop when there's two losses in a row. But now it's the end of the season, so my friends want to play all the time, and I said, okay, fuck it. Like we don't care about the ranked anymore. Okay, let's just play the game. We don't care about throwers, but somehow we get angry.
Well, but it's also the question is if we break our rules because we play, yeah, it's still gonna affect you to some degree, right? So it's really important. I would say if you are playing with friends, it's okay for you to even have a separate account for that. So you sort of have this rank rules, all of this effective practice mentality on one account, usually
Yeah.
main account, and then another account. Well, sure, if you want to play, keep playing, but you don't want to break the rules ideally. So just want to
Yeah. That's what I'm gonna do from now on. Like, I'm just gonna always focus on my main account and not like play carelessly on my main account. I will always like play carelessly if I wanted to on my Smurf account or alt account, whatever you wanna call it. Like, if I wanted to continue playing, I will just hop onto my other account and yeah,
sounds like a good idea. Yeah, that
yeah,
sounds
because I
good.
already have like 2 or 3 separate accounts.
Yeah,
So,
that's all right.
so
That's all right.
I think yeah, I'm okay on that.
That's okay. Well, honestly, even though there have been kind of unlucky games recently, which you mentioned, it's okay for us to start with whatever the longest game may be. If you
Yeah,
want,
I mean, I can share my screen really quickly, and maybe you could choose the game because
of course, as you wish.
because because I don't know if there are. interesting games. Like
Right. Let's take a look. So far, defeat 1 to 2 might be interesting 10 minutes. The other 6 minutes, and
this
the
one,
yeah. So
this one we basically lost because of this Ultron, because he doesn't want it to. He didn't want to swap off Ultron. We were running double support. I was on Strange the whole time, and this guy was on DPS.
which
Uh,
game you played Thor as well? What kind of games? Because we wanted to focus on the
I
Thor today, or
Yeah, I did not
Thor.
really play Thor on my main account yet.
Oh, okay, okay.
I could
So
I could I could switch to my other account if you wanna.
yeah. Well, at the end of the day, it's up to you. What do we want to focus on today? Do we want to focus on doing the what if you on Thor, Magic, or what do you prefer?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we can do Thor, or we can even do Magic. I have this game like on Magic, but we won this pretty easily, so
It's
it's
up
like
to
6 minutes.
you. As long your long-term goal, it helps your long-term goals. I remember that
Yeah.
you was trying to focus on the tank for the most of the part.
Yeah. To
So
be honest, I want to focus on Thor because I don't know if you have seen the leaked patch notes, but he's getting buffed again.
yeah, exactly. There's two,
Yeah.
but is again, as long as you do enjoy playing the character, just regardless of the patches, it's really good. As a
I mean, I
long-term.
like him. I like him, and to be honest, I just want to play a good character at this point because all my characters are straight up dog shit. Like Magic, Strange, they are actually like I can't MVP with these guys. Like I genuinely can't MVP with these guys. I got a Magic MVP like a couple days ago, but I was like, if I'm MVP on the team, that means I'm playing 10 times better than my team on these characters.
That's okay.
It's yeah, but like on Gambit, I can raise my legs and put a blindfold on and get MVP. It's that easy.
Well, it may be easy for some, especially when the character gets released earlier. For sometimes it gets kind of buffed, but then they nerf it, right? But at the same time,
Yeah.
just to look at the long-term value, that's what
Yeah,
matters.
I'm kind of excited for next season, to be honest, because they said that Doctor Strange's explosion will have like anti-heal or something.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good
Yeah,
effect for
that's
sure.
pretty good for
Pretty
him.
good
Yeah,
buff.
he
Yeah.
needs a buff, to be honest. He needs a buff. He's kind of bad.
Well, that's all right. Well, we are. Well, at this point, then you can send me the Thor game, I guess. Or
Yes, let me just swap
yeah, of
account really
course.
quickly, and yeah, we can see what games I have played with Thor. They're an interesting one, and we can have a look on that if
Yeah,
you like.
of course. Yeah, sounds good. Also, meanwhile, can you let me know how the progress on the previous concepts went? What you've been actively working on, and how that went for you?
Yeah, I mean, I was really working on like my positioning, trying to like put all of my abilities and stuff in my kill zone. Like instead of running into the backline with Strange, I mean, running into the backline and exploding for ult charge, even though I might be overextending. So I was trying not to overextend and just like playing safely and using my abilities, my big hits on the kill zone, and on the downtime, I'm trying to like scout as much as I could. And
Yeah.
yeah, these are the two main things I tried working on recently.
Nice, nice. That's good. What do you feel like you improved on the most out of all those things? Anything what stands out?
I think I improved the kill zone, the kill zone one, like the one where I use my like try to use my big hits on the kill zone rather than
Yeah,
in the backline. So I think this is what I improved on the most.
that's perfect. That's perfect. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Any difficulties maybe you had as well, or
Um. Not not difficulties. No. Like for me, not difficulties. Just difficulties because my character is dog shit. That's it.
well, at the end of the day, remember
I
there's
mean,
still
like
players out there at top
I know,
100
I
and
know, I
etc.
know. Of course. But like with Strange, I genuinely think this is the hardest ult like to actually hit because Invis can push me, her shield can block me, Luna can freeze me. Like every single character in the game has a way to dodge this ult.
Yeah, that's true, but
Yeah. So
th-
so 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 hitting this ult is kind of hard, even though
yeah,
I still hit many of them.
yeah. At the same, it's kind of powerful, really powerful
Yeah,
ultimate too. So don't fixate on hitting. Maybe we can take a look at the ult usage later on as well. But usually, when people end up just trying to ult everybody, maybe choosing the wrong time, yeah, without baiting the abilities, that's why it might be frozen or might be succeed in general. That's why it's a little bit difficult. But yeah,
yeah.
other than that, it should be okay. Also, yeah. So let's see.
Okay,
We
so
found,
this is a
we
game.
found it. Okay.
Yeah,
What's
I
the
think
game?
this is a game.
How
I'll
long that
send. I
game
can
is?
send you. It's
12
like 12
minutes.
minutes.
Okay.
We
I think
lost.
it's okay.
Yeah, and there's another longer one that I played 3 characters if you want to look at, but we won that one pretty easily, I would say.
Let's see.
I was
Did you play
playing.
Thor there too? Okay.
Yeah.
So
Let me see. Oh, I played them just for 2 minutes. So
okay, then let's do another one.
yeah,
It would be
let's do
not
the.
enough. 2 minutes can be okay, but in some cases, but it's better to
Oh,
just
this one
look at the
I
longer.
played Thor only. I played Thor only. This one I went
Yep.
41 instead
How
of.
long the game
This
is?
was this one is a good game. I'm not gonna lie.
15
This one's like
minutes.
15. Yeah.
Yeah, this is good. This is good too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll send you the ID. You'll see.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
I just copy paste and we should be good. All right. Gonna share the screen. Yeah. So far with Thor in specific, then is there anything? Oh wait, what's happening? Okay, I'm just gonna close your stream too. Give me one moment.
I turned off my stream.
Ah, okay, perfect. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the Thor at the moment, is there anything what you feel like you need to work on, or
Yes, I think I need to work on everything. Like, I'm starting to like get used to the character, but sometimes I overextend a bit. Sometimes I just I don't know. Sometimes I have like really bad matchups against Thor. If there's like a Bucky or like very heavy poke damage, I get melted.
yeah, that's common.
Sometimes I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this is one of the issues. My positioning is sometimes somewhat decent, somewhat bad, sometimes depending on how the game goes. What else I would say? The ultimate. I don't know where to hit that. I don't know. Like sometimes I just run into the backline. I hit my E and I just out, hoping for a kill. But
Mhm.
I don't get kills most of the time unless I have a Gambit ult on my team
Mhm.
or if I'm combining it with someone else's ult.
Mm. That's fine, to be honest. Especially at the high
Yeah.
tier, you will usually notice when you use your ultimates as a tank. It's rather gonna be zoning tool. Yes, you may get kills, but it's not the first purpose. You need to hold the right area, so you force the enemy to do something, and then after that, your DPS, your supports, will be able to follow up. Yeah, obviously, sometimes they don't, but at least we're trying to increase the chances of the good follow up to happen if we ult the good area and at the right time. That's how
Yeah.
you can look at it. But yeah, let's see. Okay, so ult usage, yeah, a little bit of everything you said. But yeah, let's see. Is there anything else or
Uh, This is what I could think of. I mean, mainly, I'm trying to like abuse the overshield I could get from Thor as much as I could to survive.
mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. I would say. Like,
All right. Yeah, let's take a look. Actually, right at the early seasons, I remember, been one tweak in Thor reached. So back in the days, there've been no Celestial rank, so the highest
yeah, I
rank was
remember. Yeah,
only
season 0,
GM. Yeah,
GM and
so
Eternity.
reach GM one tweak in Thor back in the days too. But honestly, it's right now still the same fundamentals, but a lot of people, I would say, still don't use a lot of characters properly, especially regarding the angles. Sometimes they're not taking proper angles, playing the front line too much. So maybe we can see if, first of all, what we do with our positioning, and then second, how do we engage? And it can be our ultimate, it can be also just generally speaking what we do with all the abilities as well. But yeah, anyway, let's see how everything's gonna be first. Yeah, can you see the stream, by the way?
Yes, yes.
Okay, perfect. So we starting out, and maybe let's also look for the initial rotation here. So the first thing, and if we're talking about the setup, it's really, really important. What you are aiming for with your positions. What you would say, generally speaking.
I mean, since I mean, looking at the current comp, I don't have a frontline tank, so I should be acting as the frontline mostly
Why?
because I have no frontline tank. I'm
But
not gonna
why do
leave.
you need a frontline tank? What does it mean?
It protects the backline, protects it like it's
Mm-hmm.
in front of the backline, so the backline doesn't get all the damage and they die, and like the DPS as well.
Okay. Why do we
So
need to protect the backline from somebody? Let's put it this way.
so we can win because if we don't have supports, we lose.
Let's say if the enemy is never gonna dive the backline, then what?
Oh, it's not about diving. It's about like I mean, looking at their comp, they have a Spider-Man. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I'm not frontlining, then the tanks can have easy access to my supports.
Mm-hmm.
If
Okay.
you get what I mean.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Okay.
I need to,
But
or my DPS.
why is that the problem then? So because well, I guess what I'm getting at is your job as a tank is to absorb the damage, to absorb the
Yeah,
pressure, and
yeah.
the main thing what you're looking for as any tank is first off make sure that you are able to set up your own pressure first. So the thing is, and it's a big misconception, a lot of people tend to just stuck with their team. They assume that the pressure is going to happen, so basically it looks like this: they will do X, and that's why I'm staying at the position Y. But what you need to do instead is make sure that you are playing at, let's say, X position, or like, let's say, well, let's call it Y position. Yeah. So we're playing at the Y position, and then you are forcing an enemy to do something else. Yeah, I don't know, maybe it's Z, for example. Yeah. And there's a
Mhm.
problem. If you play with your backline, you have assumed that they will get attacked. But what if this will never happen? You see, this is the problem. Yet you either will be successful if they get attacked, which is really, really good. So in this case, well, you're more likely to win. But there will be cases also where they're not getting attacked. So you're not getting any value on this character. And so, see,
Yeah.
you always need to look for more consistent ways of what I'm doing. So let's just maybe look for. Maybe we can also deliberate on why we don't need to play the front line. To keep it short, though, as Thor, you almost never frontline sit with your team. Obviously, there will be times when you have to do so, but we'll get to it later. Anyway, because you're playing more of a bursty tank, you have a lot of damage
Yeah.
output, you need to find a way to set it up, and because you set it the pressure up, then your teammates can take space, and most importantly, you're also able to divert the enemy attention. So, and because you do that, then your backline and your supports can live. Okay, so this is gonna be the main direction we're aiming at. But with the Thor, then, let's say, just assume in the games where, like you said, you have frontline tank, what you would typically do? What are you
I
aiming
would
for?
I would play like an off tank, like sort of a DPS, and try to like apply lots of pressure on their DPS and their backline.
Yes. And how you
That's
do that?
mostly what. How would I do that?
Yes.
Um, you mean like what abilities or?
Well, let's start with setup.
Um, I would kind of like off angle at first, and then jump into the fight and
Mm-hmm.
start
Yeah.
inside. You know.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's what I'm mainly trying to do. Like I kind of like if the tank is strange, if strange, let's say, is standing in front of me, like right now, I would go to the left side maybe or to the right side, and try to throw my awakening stuff, and then I would hammer inside and use my I throw my hammer and I use my E, and
Mm-hmm.
then I have my awakening back, and then I just redo the whole thing, and maybe I get a kill.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Sure. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's gonna be first of all somewhat of an off angle. Yeah. The general rules are, it's what I like to call more of a 90 do 180 angles simply, regardless of the comp, most of the time, because this is the nature of the character. Because a lot of people get this not right, and it's been the same thing in Overwatch back in the days too. Somebody, they would always tell, somebody needs to be with your team the front line, but it's not correct, because you need to set up your own pressure first, and because you do so, then your backline can live. Also, there are a lot of times, if you have sort of double off tank, like in your case, then what's happening a lot of the times is that you trade backlines simply, and that's completely fine. By the way, are you less likely to exactly trade the backline because they only have Spider-Man? Or maybe you can actually, but it's just they also have a lot of brawl power, so maybe it will just end up that nobody will die from your team as well. But if they would have more Davi team, let's say, you're more likely to get the backline trade, but it's completely fine. Yeah, you need to
Yeah.
always look at the resources at the long term. If you're able to get better cooldown trade with the enemy team, then you're gonna be doing better. But you never sit with your team. There are times still when you can do so, but we'll talk about it later. Yeah, anyway, the main direction is you need to set up. So right away, something we're missing is we're not using our dash to set up, right? We need to get somewhere. We need to get to angles. We need to think about where we're gonna be. So in this case, what your location could be already, if you could be
Like
using
where the
the
Spider-Man is.
possibly, maybe. Yeah, we can get to here.
Yeah.
Also, really good to start rotating towards here, and then once your team attacks, there's gonna be example of 90 angle. Yeah, you kind of attacking from here while my team is there. Maybe you can also start pressuring from here, but there's less consistency in this angle because usually people are fighting on this choke. By the way, I have good example. It's just some. It's not even. Yeah, it's not even my gameplay, but back in the days, that's what I would do too. But it's sure for, and in back in the days, they've been able to reach like top 100 on Thor, and you see them do that quite a lot. Most of the time, regardless of the comp too. Obviously, the mag, yes, it will be acting sort of like a frontline tank because they don't have a mobility, but still, the thing is, they still can take their own angles. For example, maybe it's going up left tower, going left side, all the way there, while we are on Thor taking the right side, yeah? And you'll see them do that quite a lot, just taking all the angles. So it's mostly, it's completely fine, honestly, to even use your dash here. They're not doing that actually, but it's okay to use the dash to just get in a position first, and then after that you can decide what to do to just move on the angle. Yeah, so you see, is this exactly 90 angle while my team is attacking? So this way, I'm not protecting the backline, not sitting with them, but it's more, I just divert the attention so my team can walk through, and then after that, I keep using the 180 angles. So all of this attention you get, because Thor is mix of both trades. It's dive and brawl. You gotta be using dive trade first, so get in a position like those here, and then after that you do something. You have to divert the attention. Maybe one more example. I actually have my gameplay, but it's been 1 year ago. I usually use this as an example of the good setup too. Yeah, let's watch this one, for example. Okay, what we got is, it's again pretty common situation, and you see that we actually have the dive tank, and a lot of people would say, maybe I gotta sit with my team. No, not really. You need to set up your own pressure first, and after that you will see what you will be doing. Maybe you will need to peel for your team later, help them out, but to be honest, also, if you look at the comp here, they have more brawl direction too, and the way you beat brawl is by surrounding them, by splitting their resources. Well, it's another talk for another day, but anyway, you see that sometimes this thinking of trying to main tank traps you in unfavorable spots where those guys run you over. If I would be thinking the same here, for example, the Groot and Penny, let me just sit with my team, let me just try to protect my backline, those guys run me over. I cannot outbrawl the Groot, I cannot outbrawl the Penny as well. So first of all, take advantage of your own angles, stake the space, make sure you rotate on the angles, and you see I exactly do that, taking 90 to 180 angle. I have to scout as well what my team is doing, but you can be patient. First step is always setup, and then after that you can go based off that. Yeah, you can engage with Awaken, or you can use your dash. It all depends on what you want to do, but generally speaking, we want to try to engage around Awaken. But I really
Yeah.
want to look at what my second tank is doing as well. Yeah, so this way they divert the tension. Yeah, this is the job of the tank. Now I just do a little bit of poking, but afterwards, when we able to, we can even close the distance for another Awaken. In here, by the way, there's a slight difference before with the right click. You're not able to get the Thor force back in the days with the right
Oh
click,
yeah,
but
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
in here it's still kind of the same thing, which is getting in the fight and then doing the Awaken, and it's all done because we done the setup previously. Well, I have a bunch of other examples later, but honestly, I think is really good. Sure, for like my example, just the way you do that, the way you set up. Yeah, does it make sense? Or any
Yeah, yeah,
questions?
it does. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it really does. Yeah.
yeah, it's just the idea. Yeah, don't even fixate on the position there. It's just an idea of I can get in a position first.
Yeah, so mainly my job with Thor is to try and divert the team's attention away from my team and make them try to look at me so my team can push and then I could help my team out.
Yes, this is one thing. Yeah, you do that
Yeah.
because you done the setup. Yeah, you done the good setup. You diverting the attention. Now it's the second part with how you engage, and there are
Yeah.
two things you can be doing. We can either use Awaken, or we can just keep using our abilities. Doesn't matter the dash. I think the dash is the most important one, so maybe we can focus on that. And let's talk about it. So, what do you typically do with Awaken? How do you use that? How do you use your dash? All of that stuff. What are you usually aiming for? What you would say?
So my dash for displacement mostly or to get out of a fight.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly displacement, yeah, maybe pulling the Groot into my team and trying to get the pick.
Okay.
And the Awaken to mainly to poke in damage, or if I'm deep enough, maybe to kill supports.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Like and gain overshield, of course.
Okay. Okay. So what are you aiming for now? Was it just try to displace the enemy? Kind of use the dash to maybe mess them up a little bit?
Yeah, this is what I was mainly focusing here. To since in my mind here I was acting as a frontline tank because
Mm-hmm.
I have an Angela. Yeah, so I was trying to frontline mostly.
Mm-hmm.
That's why.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. So let's just kind of think about it this way. What you can be thinking about, because Thor is one of the glass cannon tanks in a way. You have a lot of damage
Yeah.
with Awakened, but at the same time, you really need to be mindful about all the sustain. You don't have as much sustain as Doctor Strange. So the first thing is kind of basic. Most of your engagements should be around the Awakened. Well, first off, you cannot do that without good setup. Yeah, you need to set up like we talked about before, and because we are not set up, you're also not able to displace an enemy properly. See, you're charging your Hummer. What if
Yeah.
I would be charging my Hummer right from here and try to displace Groot right towards my team, right? Or maybe I can also try to displace this guy and push him in my team. Yeah, with the dash, with engagement at least. It's just what you're aiming for. And see, the idea is try to either you can look to try to displace somebody kind of in the way so you make them isolated. Yeah, let's put it this way. For
Yeah.
example, I can drop this guy in my space, kind of isolate him, or maybe I can drop them in a corner and isolate them. Yeah, same about the Groot. And once you created isolation, then you are usually able to use the Awaken too. So it's first off, typically starting with the dash, but sometimes you're able to use Awaken early too. But anyway, you cannot do that without the setup though. So we kind of just go in and then, yeah, well, we're using the Awaken here, which is okay. But honestly, even starting just with Awaken in your case can be fine too. Yeah, and the way we escape to just going by towards your team is just slightly low uptime, but yeah, we can talk about that later. That's okay, doing a little bit of damage. Yeah, honestly, I think it's just we need to get in a position first. Yeah, like here, you just take immense poke damage, and you're not winning the
Yeah.
frontline war versus the Fantastic Groot all together with the Gambit. This is not possible. And you also, this deck is cool though when you kind of just turn them around. But still, it's much easier to do once you have the setup. Just go on the angle, and then after that, you can manage to do the same. So it's also harder for them to react exactly. But yeah, this
Yeah.
is a lot of the times cool to do like this Y turn. Yeah, this is exactly for kind of similar to Angela when you just start displacing them. This is
Yeah.
okay. You're going for the awaken. Maybe can be fine. Okay. Honestly, from what I see, just the setup. Yeah, let's maybe skip this because I think we should be just anywhere else besides the main, if
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah. True. Yeah.
Maybe the next fights here, or see where we could be to just kind of get us more examples. But honestly, that's why you and you see how it's hard to just break through the Groot, yeah, because we kind of just sit on this main side and all of this brawl guys, when you stuck in the choke, it's not possible at all. But how much easier
Yeah.
it is if we do it this way, kind of go around. You have to time it with your team, though. Sometimes they still might mess it up, but then you always look at it this way: if they mess up the engagement, but you done the best with the setup, you done the best with engagement timing, you done the best with your ability usage, that's okay. You take those fights, and maybe later on you still can think about how can you set up differently. But at first it's always angles, angles, angles as much as possible.
Yeah.
You have immense mobility. Honestly, that's most of it what I've been doing. Once I reached the high rank, the highest rank back in the days was GM1. It's setup first. You do that exactly like I showed you in the video, and then after that you are doing something. There's a lot of specific details about the Awaken though, but you have to just be somewhere else. And even a lot of streamers, from what I watched before, they actually been not playing correctly. They've been playing more frontline Thor, which I think is wrong, to be honest, because you have a lot of mobility and you can take advantage of that. Obviously, there are times when you can also do something at the front line, but there's going to be a good reason why. Okay, let's see what's gonna happen in this here. Maybe a small comment on the ultimate. It's just really what we talked about before. It's much easier to do the proper ultimate if you set up correctly as well. So for example, instead of me doing this way, I can first of all think about the setup, and then after that I will be engaging with my ultimate. So try to think about it. Like, your job as a tank to first off trap the enemy in the space. Yeah, how can you do that? Yeah, you can maybe use the dash. Yeah, dash, push the enemy, and that's one thing. But what your ultimate can do as well. How can you make this ultimate look better? So you trap the enemy inside your space, which is sort of here-ish. What you would say? What can you do?
So here I ulted because Angela ulted, and there are many people like in the same
No,
spot.
this is okay. The time is okay. I don't like your positioning. You're not making those guys trapped in the area. It's easier for them. Potentially, they still can kite.
Yeah.
Okay.
So sorry, what's kite?
Oh, kite means they will be dodging. Let's say, for example, your team does something. Maybe there's something
Yeah.
big. They do the ultimate, and when the enemy team is kiting, that means they are not getting affected by whatever the action as much. So what you want to be doing is make them choose. They either affected by you or they're affected by this thing, and it's a lot about the setup again. Yeah, you need to kind of keep them stuck. See, the big thing is, let's just maybe clarify here. If you're fighting for the space, which is here-ish, because I want the enemy to be dropped in this area, you, Thor, a lot of the times need to try to ult more in the back and cut them off. So they,
Yeah. So I should have ulted from behind them
yes, exactly. So
because now Gambit could dash back into the
yes, exactly.
sides.
But when you are ulting in the back, then they have no choice, but it's either take damage from you or they will move forward and take damage from your team. So it's exactly what you're aiming to do with ultimates most of the time. And it's same idea though. You setting up on 90 to 180 angle. Again, what's that is, my team is here. and then if I'm here somewhere in the back, I take this 180 angle because the enemy has to do full 180 turn. Or I could also be
Yeah.
in theory this position, see on top, and this is also sort of a good 90 angle. But honestly, with the ultimate, if you're able to take 180. 180
It's
angle,
better.
that's yeah, it's slightly better, but there's one more addition to it. Usually it's really good if you're able to hold the chokes, so it's harder for the enemy to kite properly, so they have only one way through. But if you're ulting in the open, then there's more, they can kind of spread out more. It's still possible to ult the open, but you still have to ult from behind, so you zone the enemy out in the space which it's easier for your team to push. So for example, if we ult in this area which is more open, maybe I force an enemy to be kiting, like going away from me towards this area. Yeah, this is really uncomfortable, so easy to push because they don't have any defensive route right to their point later. You can easily turn around and push that. Maybe it's gonna be, I don't know, let's imagine they went inside the building to try to dodge you because they've been ulting here out in the open.
Yeah.
Same thing. If this space is easy to push, that's a good ultimate. A lot of times this is the purpose of your big damage ultimates. It's
Mhm.
not necessarily kills, but you just zone the enemy out in your space. But yeah, anyway, so set up on 180 and then ult, that's one. And then another thing is lock to ult chokes. So we kind of just needed to use the dash first, try to get in a position, go up. I can maybe show an example. By the way, yeah, I think. Oh yeah, actually, I forgot about this one. I have a small video guide on my main YouTube as well. Maybe this will be helping you out overall with just all the phases of the fight and with just how you can use multiple stuff. But it can be your homework for later. You can watch the videos later. Give me 1 moment. I'm just gonna open the video. Okay.
Yep.
So this is the good example of. Yeah, so ultimates. Okay, let's just talk about this. It's somewhere here. Okay, ult usage. This can be a good example, exactly. Okay, we are, most of the time, you see this. So first of all, we set up, we go in the back. Okay, this is the typical situation. My team is on defense, by the way. My team is
Yeah,
around
I can
here,
tell.
at position A, and then I'm taking more with a 180 angle. So what is important is try to time pressure with my tank. So now when my tank goes in, I can go in, but because I ult in the back now, those guys are forcing, it's either, well, it's not the most ideal, right? But still, they are forcing to either take damage from me or they're forced to walk forward. And if they don't walk forward, then my team can get kills on the other guys on their team. If they try to kite me, like in this space, it's also not as comfortable because my team
Yeah.
maybe can also push that a little bit. So I'm kind of ulting in the back. Yeah, that's one example. It's more openish area. And then another example, yeah, somewhere around here, I believe. Yeah, you just will be using the dash. Yeah, enemy team is walking in, using the dash, get on the angle, 90 angle, then use the dash again. Mess it up a little bit because of the statue, but
Yeah.
still,
Yeah,
you
but
are.
it's still yeah.
Yeah, you're ulting the choke, and then you see how they walking in the space right there.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
an
yeah,
invisible,
yeah.
or I think it was Cloak and Dagger. Yeah, Cloak and Dagger. It's just exactly that. That's what we need for to aim for. Well, anyway, setup. Yeah, really important.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
do you have any questions so far, or
No, no,
is
no. I understand everything, and I kind of get it more, and how I should be playing the character more.
Okay, perfect. Yeah,
Yeah.
because there's also another big thing is just how we are using Awaken too, but we can talk about it later. I would just focus on your setup. Yeah, let's maybe think about the second point. How we can set up, what we can do. Yeah, let's maybe go back a little. Yeah, so that's when you capture the point. So right away, where can you be as Thor in theory? What do you think? What can you do?
I mean, currently the enemy team is like kind of their positioning is kind of off because of the spawning time.
Mhm.
But let's say they're coming all of them together from the other side. I could be taking a high ground from where the Angela is, maybe, or I could be going around on the other side, like on the
Mhm.
my right side, like from my POV here in
Mhm.
Astor from the right side, and go for a flank.
Possible, yeah. Just
Yeah,
be careful, make sure it's not too deep, because you're fighting for this space here, so you're more likely the option is either playing around this high gun
And
here, or
yeah,
honestly, it's usually more convenient because you see the thing about this space here, you can get to this, but then it's really far. So maybe if you
yeah,
have time, then you might do that. But most of the time,
yeah. That's what I thought. I would go
yeah.
up there, like either right or left
Mhm,
side, but taking one of these buildings as a high ground and try poke in some damage
mhm.
and applying pressure and yeah. Then maybe I'll either if I could dash in, I would. If not, then I would go back to my team, reset, and then do the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. But you yeah, I think generally speaking, the left side is, from what I see usually, is more convenient. Kind of, it's just slightly earlier. You're able to get to 90 to 180 angle. Maybe we can look to dash in. Yeah, make sure we displace the Groot right away. Maybe you can also still do the awaken too. That's completely fine. Honestly, that is something what you typically start with if you have an opportunity. So just for the bigger damage output, but you
Yeah,
kind of look at it this way. Ideally, you look into setup, you do the awaken to just poke damage. Yeah, let's say we saw first stages. Take 90 to 180 angle. Okay, perfect. Then after that, you are able to poke a little bit. On some maps, you might notice that it's not as easy to get the poke damage before the fight, but that's where you can maybe use awaken early and then try to set up again. But usually the order is you kind of want to get on the angle. You can poke with your awaken a little bit, and then after that you will be engaging. It's more use the dash, or maybe look to brawl with awaken. But yeah, mostly engagements kind of evolve around the awaken there.
yeah,
Okay. See, it's also kind of making it easy when we displace these guys right, kind of when we push in like this, right front to front. It's a little bit more complicated, to be honest. Still, there's yeah, you guys getting kills now, so it's nice. Yeah, this shift is good. Okay, and now ready to set up. Yep. So see, again, don't go back to card, but just think where you can be. Maybe I can just literally go up here, or I can, I don't know, stay. I think up here is fine, or maybe stay on one of these high guns here. Just
yeah,
something. Yeah, go somewhere. Go somewhere else. It should be all right. Stuff like that.
mhm,
Okay. Do you have any questions
yeah.
about? Yeah.
Not about Thor, but about who is meant to push the cart.
The.
Because this is
Mhm.
what I was trying to do. Because like, look at my invis. Look where she is.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
So
It's okay. Mm-hmm.
so she's all the way up there. So we need someone pushing the cart. At least two people, I would say. Right?
Usually one. I'll explain
One would.
why, because the thing is, think about setting up before the fight as extra advantage, and usually people on card, they don't get extra advantage. So typically, if we need to win the next fight, we need everyone to set up, but still we need to push the card. So the person who can set up faster, or who can be in the fight more actively, let's put it this way, they push the card. Okay, but it's not you. Why? Because you brawl more of a brawl short
I mean,
range.
is it a role specific or is it a character specific?
You just have to look at the comp. In your case, and well, look at the comp and situation. Let's put it this way. So, for example, here we can anticipate that the fight will be in this space. So, who
Yeah.
you think will be able to comfortably shoot this area without needing to invest too much time into setup?
Namor, I would say.
Namor. So here you go. Namor should be pushing the card.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's just why? Because a lot of long range pressure, that's either one thing, you usually notice more long range supports or just whoever long range, they will be pushing the card because they just don't need as much, they
Yeah,
don't
but
need to
what
get.
if?
Mhm.
Yeah, like sometimes Namor players, like for example Namor, sometimes they set up a flank or they just set up a high ground and so they could put their squids in better places so they won't be able to push a card in
No,
this
it's
comp.
okay.
Then whose job is it?
Well, then you watch for the next person who will be doing the same, yeah, who can also contribute to the fight comfortably without investing too much time. And
So Gambit.
maybe I would say might be Invis Woman, in my opinion, because of the you don't have as much
Shield?
mobility. Well, there's a little bit of everything. It's just mostly who is pushing the card. It's based on two things. It's a poke damage, a long range pressure. If they're able to do that, oh well, let's maybe say a long range damage, and then another thing is mobility. Okay, ideally, if you have the
Yeah.
combination of those things, then this person is pushing the card. In this woman, they have long range pressure, so technically maybe they can be here. Gambit is not as long range, and but he
I
has
mean, he does.
mobility. Mm-hmm.
He does have long range, no?
Well, the effective range. Effective range is not long. You need to hit multiple
Okay.
chords, right? And to
Okay.
hit
Okay.
multiple cards, you need to be relatively close. It's just
Yeah.
ideally you need to at least hit two cards. If you go in a practice range, it's well,
Yeah, I know. I've tried it.
yeah, so it's not as much range to be
Yeah.
honest. But in this woman, however, there's more range. Still not as much compared to Namor. But yeah, anyway,
Mhm.
your preference still try to set up before the next fight. Yes, maybe it can be more forgiving for you to push the card. Let's say if there's no one else really do that because you have mobility technically. But then once the fight is ready, you shouldn't be there. You should be try to already set up. Yeah, prepare. Everybody
Yeah.
should be participating in the fight. Yeah, and then make sure you win that, so the card will get pushed later. It's usually just
Yeah.
having multiple people. It's not good sign. You don't need multiple people. You need to win the fight, so the card will be
Yeah.
pushed. Yeah, stuff like that. Okay. Any more questions?
No, that's it.
Okay, perfect. Well, then what we can do maybe because we talked about the setup, maybe we can implement it right away, go in the
Yeah.
game and try to see how is that gonna go, and yeah, we'll see what what kind of problems we're gonna have as well if there will be
Okay.
some. Yeah, but I want you to try to set up, but it's important to understand it's gonna be not easy at first. You might die a lot
Yeah.
because
Yeah. I
you
know. I
might
know.
mess up your timing, you might mess up the way you exactly chose the cover and all of that, but don't get frustrated. It's all right. All right.
Yeah. So I'm Diamond 3 here. Should I queue in Diamond 3 or do you think
If you're
GM would be
comfortable,
better?
oh well, you've been playing Thor on this account. It's okay. If you're
Yeah.
comfortable in this one, let's do that.
Okay. I'll just
But
do that.
yeah, for the long term, playing on your main account is okay. Just make sure that you pick Thor in situations where you're comfortable with that. And Thor is usually whenever you have more Davi comp, whenever you have more high guns to work with, I would say you can definitely play him. That's completely fine. Yeah, just to
Okay.
take 90 to 180 angle at first. Yeah, kind of setting up, doing something, and then you also need to think about how do you engage later, stuff like that. Yeah, but
Yeah.
the general flow is set up and then look to engage. It's either but the dash or the awakened. Usually,
Mhm.
awakened is something what we can start with first, but yeah. Anyway, let's see. Let's see how is that gonna go.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so
You can see my screen, right?
yeah. It's
Yeah. Okay.
looking good. It's working. Okay, a little bit about the ultimate as well, just with how we need to ult from 180 angles. But yeah, I want you to invest your dash as much as possible in setup too. Don't hesitate to do so. Usually, especially early during the fights on convergence, you have you're able to use your dash 2 times. Let's put it this way. They just
Yeah.
set up somewhere. So don't just walk without using that. Yeah, go for it.
ما ادري توني ادري ترى.
Mhm.
Okay. Eh,
Nice.
mm-hmm.
They need to remove this double ban thing or add a third ban as soon as possible. Like this is the roster is getting way too much.
Yeah, the
Regarding Gambit.
roster is getting a little bit too huge for sure. I agree.
Yeah, the roster they're adding like a character every month, and they're not removing the double bans or the what's it called, or adding like a third ban.
Hmm. That even say in the in the voice chat, on the text chat, we ban Penny. Interesting.
Yeah. We've been doing that. Me and my friends. You know, do you play Rainbow Six Siege by any chance?
I did a little bit actually.
Yeah, like
Little
but
bit.
like in Siege, people like always like when there's the map bans, we always say we ban like skyscraper, and the other team says we ban labs or whatever.
Oh,
Just so we
okay.
don't just because there are 5 maps, and then we ban 2 maps at first. Like each team bans a map, and then it's randomly between 3 maps.
Okay,
So
okay.
just in case we don't have double banned maps, so we just say we ban this map, and so we're starting doing that a little bit with in rivals a little bit. Some people lie. They say we ban Hawkeye, and they don't.
Sometimes they lie.
Yeah, sometimes they lie, but we don't really care about that. We always say we ban the character we want to ban, and then they ban whoever.
Okay, okay, sounds
Yeah,
good. All right, a setup initially. I can. You,
yeah. I'm going
actually,
from the right side.
you can try. Yeah,
Try
you
to
can
get
try.
the high ground. Yeah.
Usually, this is the most common angle to work with. Why? Because you're also able to set up at more of a power position in a way. You have more options what you can do once you're on the top
Hmm.
right. So yeah. And I promise you, most of the time, people will tell you how you should sit on the main or something. But I don't know, for some reason, I, a lot of people, once they start using angles, they get better win rate. And me personally, even though people would constantly complain, I still got the highest rank there.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we just need to do the stuff, set up more if possible. By the way, if people are chasing you, it's fine. Just make sure that you take HP packs. You don't take too much poke. Okay, now
Mhm.
look at what your team is doing and try to time the engagements. See what you can do from there. Okay, also keep in mind your HP is pretty low. Okay, can be looking okay. It's fine. I know sometimes if we are not able to engage on something, it's either you reset up or make sure that you create isolation. Yeah, make sure that you go for isolated targets and or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is slightly better angle, by the way, if your team is stuck in the choke too. Okay, careful, out and open. Mm-hmm. Nice. Okay. Using awaken is also fine. It's a sustain tool sometimes too, but yeah, you
Yeah.
have to judge. Okay. See where you can set up. Maybe it's gonna be just somewhere at first. Somewhere like top right is usually fine, but yeah, you need to wait for the rest of your team as well. Be careful. Okay.
That's why I don't like playing Thor when there's like an Angela, because my team gets too scared to enter the fight without a tank frontlining.
Yeah, but you you
Especially
you need
especially in
you
these
need you
ranks.
need to time. You need to time the things. Like right now, you need to set up again. You don't want to sit here. You need to just get in somewhere and try to create isolation. Make sure you isolate somebody first. Okay, get in a position and then think. It's either you fight with isolated target right away, or you fight with the space where your team is fighting. Watch out for that. Yeah. So you
Yeah.
look for the options. What can you do? Your team is already fighting, so you can look to fight too. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
What can you do with ultimate? It's okay-ish. It's decent. Okay. Don't go far too back. You can still stay in the angle there, but yeah, it's okay. Re-engaging after.
Oh my goodness, my aim is dog shit.
Now, keep in mind, when there's low mobility target, the thing you want to do is don't try to aim towards them, but try to just you kind of aim slightly to the left and then slightly to the right with your next right click. You don't have to
Yeah,
exactly
yeah.
keep the cross in one place. So this way you may hit at least one, or well, ideally you hit both, to be honest, if you do it right. So because it slightly displace it, but yeah. Okay, sure. Go back to an angle. Don't go back. Yeah. So this is fine. Yeah. angle first, and then after that you can decide. So usually doing this here, you see, if there's nothing to do before the fight starts, you can poke with your Awakened first. So for example, here, literally poke, and then after that, as your next stage, you can look to do something else.
Yeah, trying to
You
go
kind
this
of
way.
break, yeah, you kind of break the engagements on 2 phases, to be honest.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That's okay. That's fine. They use bunch of stuff. Just reset, but you're gonna be repeating the cycle. I know it's first. It's really awkward. You will get used to
Yeah,
it.
especially in solo queue, like I can't coordinate with my team, and especially when I don't have like a front line, because my team they're
Yeah,
scared to push. Like I can see that
yeah,
they're scared
yeah.
to push because they don't have a front line.
You need to take advantage of it more. I understand, but you need to try to take advantage of your angles more and try to time the pressure a little bit more.
Yeah.
Okay. Not good angle to start with. Go somewhere. Yeah, like here. This is better. So now, if your team starts with the pressure, then it's gonna be easier for them to walk. Find a way to heal, and then after that, you can look to set up again, and then try to just push somebody to your team, maybe.
Just need to get my Thor force back somehow. Okay.
Oh, the best way to get the sword force back, just get in a fight. You hit the right click, you hit the E. Yeah, so it's a lot about the setup. By the way, really good angle there. Could maybe use the hammer first to just displace them, but it's okay. This is fine. Now, set up again. Where we are. Yeah, we're not seeing them main, right? We need to set up so we cover our ultimate too, right in the choke. Okay, see where your team is fighting, so you can ult properly.
Yeah.
And there's an Wiz, so you don't want to go here. Okay, you have one more fight. You have one more fight here.
Yeah.
It's just
I shouldn't have went that to the invis ult. I think.
yeah, you can just try to reset. Maybe wait for it's either better opportunity. You kind of hold on, or you can just wait out the invis after and then engage.
Yeah.
Okay, you need to set up first.
Look at this guy. Thor, please take shield. Like they can't play without a front
I
line.
promise you, they will tell you that. But what matters is you are getting more value, right? And this is
Oh
how.
my goodness.
This is how the best players do that, right? They you just take angles, you do your stuff, you do it properly, and that's all.
Yo, please remove this broken shield from the game. This is practically immortal.
You need to be careful. There's just a little bit too much in the open. You need to play. It's either you play cover near the objective, or you just need to try to go somewhat deeper. Well, honestly, this is an okay game for us to review later. Well, we still have the defense here, but yeah, at least we try to take angles. This is really good. Now, okay. Oh, you guys still can touch, right? I forgot. That's strange there. Just try to sustain on the card. Try to hit their backline, if possible. Backline is the priority. With Awaken, too.
Oh my goodness, how did they see 9?
Nah, that's the point there. Well, that's okay. Well, happens. That's alright. Let's try to do our best on the defense. There are a lot of things to talk about later, but yeah, this is good. Just try out the same thing, and then we can talk about the quality later, what you can be fixing with this. And yeah, like I said, people will tell you a lot of the random stuff, like play frontline tank, but
Yeah,
would
I mean,
top one...
most of the time, I'll try not to play Thor, especially in this rank. Not to play Thor when there's no front line because the team literally can't do shit without the front line. They were scared. Like, look at the Angela died 6 times, the Moonlight died 7 times. They're just dying
Yeah,
way too much,
but
and
the
they don't
thing
know what
is,
they're doing.
it's not about them. It's about our quality angles, taking advantage of that, first of all. If you're able to do that properly, then they can also walk. It's understandable they're more scared, but so it goes the same for the enemy team. They also do a lot of mistakes, right? So we can expose that, generally speaking. It's just make sure that
Yeah.
you are taking advantage of the angles. It don't want to think, oh, like my team does this, that's why I do this. It's rather, what can I do? And how can I set up my pressure accordingly to where my team is fighting and
Is
everything.
this good? Like here? Around here?
You can try, but I would say usually the top left is slightly better. It's just the one where there's a Moon Knight or Namor angle.
Which
Like,
top left? This here?
yeah, right there. Yeah. That would be. But you can start here. Just try to experiment. That's okay. And see what are your options. Yeah, this is good. Try to move out. Move out. Be careful. They move into you. Yes. So watch out. It's okay to like just keep shooting and also move back, but yeah, be really careful. Okay, try to grab somebody with shift. I mean with the dash maybe as well. Yeah, see what are your options. Yeah, like this. This is good. Okay, that's fine. Honestly, yeah, we can keep grabbing them. Okay, nice, looking good. Back to an angle. Back or well, you can keep fighting if there's. You can do a lot of damage too, but it's either this. It's either setup or back to an angle. Okay. You can keep fighting, you have an advantage. Maybe try to watch out for the backy hook. Yeah, he missed it, I think. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I did miss. I
Okay.
don't know. I've never used this team.
Set up again. Okay. Mm-hmm. A little bit too far. A little bit too far. But
I tried to get the mag off like outside the ult, so maybe I could get like a pick on him. I didn't expect the bucket to be playing this far.
yeah, it's alright. It's alright. Don't worry. Don't worry. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So to re-engage, see what we can do there as well. Mm-hmm. Okay, looks good. We have big advantage. You can keep fighting. Later on, you will recognize when you kind of also can skip the setup, but it's mostly just when you have big advantage already. Okay, here, can burst this. Looks good. You still have Awaken? Yeah. Let's try to scout. Yeah, nice. Okay, can set up first, do Awaken early in the fight. Oh, never mind. This guy, I don't know what he's doing, but... well, I guess they're actively engaged still. Looks good. I try to get rid of the enemy, the Stagger. By the way, this top left here you usually can... Oh, what are you committing? I don't understand.
I don't know. Like they tried to.
That's what I mean. Is the enemies will make a lot of mistakes. It doesn't matter. So you just if you at the end of the day get a lot of value, that's all what matters. Okay, let's see what it can do. But look at whether your team is fighting. Make sure you fight with them too. Okay, you see your
Yeah.
team starts taking damage already. You have to fight. You have to already do something. Yes, this is pretty decent timing. Okay, looks good. Keep fighting. Options. Get Awaken back. Yes, Awaken back. Okay, and Awaken. Okay, that's fine. You can burst the shield so they Awaken too. Okay, get out? Probably? Or... Okay, fine. It's a
Where's
little
my
bit
team?
too much poke damage there. Just a little bit too much. It's okay though. Still, played really... It's pretty decent. The first point's pretty decent. Right. Our team's still fighting. May re-engage there too. Okay, actually works out.
They're winning, I guess.
Yeah, they're winning. Yeah. All right, you guys managed to hold the first point. Perfect. Nice. Okay, let's talk about a couple of the things. I think the main point where we struggled is just a little bit of the attack, and defense looked pretty decent. I think kind of got the hang of it more. But yeah, let's talk about the few things there. Okay. So the way we can think about everything is kind of two phases. It's gonna be setup and your engagement phase after. So there are just multiple things to watch out for once you are looking for the engage. But yeah, let's just send me the game and then let's talk about everything. Okay.
Yep, sent it.
Okay. So let's just talk about this here. I think the engagement would be the best to talk about. There was a bunch of other small things, but I want to make sure it's all easy to comprehend as well. So it's sort of kind of one by one, step by step rule. So first off, we exactly do this, the setup. It's been looking okay, yep. But the more you will do that, the easier it's going to be for you to set up. The main problem we had with setup is just how far we are from the fight. So generally speaking, 90 to 180 angle, this is good, but you also have to have sort of more of a short range angle to where the enemy team, your team is fighting, sorry. So for example here, we go all the way top right, which generally speaking is okay, right? Because your team sort of starts walking, it's either this space here or this space. Honestly, this is usually more okay-ish, especially if they walk
go
here.
under.
Yeah, but if not, then you can adjust and just
go.
Yeah.
I could go through where the like. Oh, you can't see my mouse. To
It's
where
okay.
you know the glass. You know this. You see this bridge, like on the left side of the bridge. Like this here, there.
Yeah, this let's
like
call it
maybe play it
A.
here.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing about that, it's okay that you just rotate it here initially. It's fine. Just make sure that once you're doing the setup based on where your team is going, you take more of a shorter angle. So from there, you not thinking, oh, like these guys, they cannot walk, right? Because I'm not sitting with the front line. No, they cannot walk because we need to divert their attention in the right space. So when you divert this guy's attention, it can be useful partially. Yeah, maybe those guys can take more damage, but honestly, most of our setup should be more directed to the area where the fight is now. And these guys here, they actively committing right there. Yeah, if the enemy team maybe would sit on a point, I think this can work slightly better because then you have this short angle, let's call it A, while your team is sort of under the bridge here and they already attacked the point. If everybody is stuck on the objective. But if those guys are that far, then you need to instantly set up, which we sort of do, but yeah, just do it, I think, do it even faster, because here we sort of wait, well, let me see, yeah, we sort of waited here.
Kind of wasted lots of time here,
You just keep moving, keep moving, this angle is really good, and once your tank, I think, is just gonna be the second, let me see where your Angela is, yeah, once they do this, sort of, that's your one of the more ideal timings, you can try to see what it can do. By the way, they also kind of messed it up a little bit, honestly, they maybe can look for just wait, get more time to rotate, but you don't care about it overall. Just look at where your team is fighting, and this second tank can be a good trigger for you to think about to start something. Yeah, maybe we can push the rogue, maybe we can push the mag. By the way, really out of position and really annoying for him to be trapped by you. If we can just keep dashing and create isolation, we constantly dash, do something. This can do quite a lot. So this is the one thing. Okay, let's just maybe, I'm also gonna write down setup. Short range angle. Just you need to watch the space. Yeah, fight same space with your team. Okay, that's how I would say. Now just a little bit too far. And there will be same problem later as well. You'll see, okay, I'm here, yeah. This yeah, but right now, but this ended up better, by the way. Once we're here, but now it's 1 minute fight
Yeah.
already. Yeah, so it will be maybe more complicated to win. And see, the thing is, even though even though we took this angle, even though there was not as effective, still our team eventually managed to push through. Yeah, maybe they sort of stuck dealing with the mag, but you don't care because you pull resources away from the mag because you're taking an angle, and if you do that really well too, this can also end up good for us because this mag takes a lot of damage. So this is how you
Yeah.
protect your team in a way too. Like yes, they stuck. They don't know how to take angles. Maybe this guy knows. Yeah, this guy knows, but the other guys don't. It's fine. Still,
Yeah.
you don't care about it. It's just the more. The more the more the rank is, the higher the rank is, the more people will take angles, generally speaking. So
Yeah.
you're okay at, well, just if there are less people taking angles, that's whatever. Just make sure that you contribute to the right space. Okay,
Hmm.
what we are at now, yeah, we had to reset up. They use, for whatever reason, Moon Knight there, ultimate again, and that's where it's a little bit complicated. Yeah, it's just a little bit chaotic because the fight is partially still going here. It's just been really long. That's why it's just what do we do in this case? You can poke. I think it's okay. You can kind of think, okay, I set up slightly, maybe do the poke damage before the fight starts. That's usually fine. That's what I call, it's kind of poke phase. Yeah, but once the brawl phase starts, that's where it's really important for you to just keep engaging at the area with your team, fight the same space with them. All
Yeah.
right. Okay, let's see. Yeah, this honestly here, you just need to keep, even for this space, let's think about that. I know your team's sort of stuck in the choke here, but what are your options? How you can set up so it's gonna be short angle accordingly to where your team is fighting. Where can you go right away? What are your thoughts?
I mean, since they're stuck in here, maybe I could. I went inside the building, but maybe I could go to either where the mag is or even on the left side
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
bit.
Honestly, left side is decent enough. It's gonna be a little bit harder, maybe without destroying the walls. But honestly, if they push kind of too far forward, you can take advantage of that. Or let's say they're pulling back, then we can go here. That's okay. Yeah, you can be flexible. Just watch for the space where most of your team is fighting, and it'll be
Yeah.
alright. It'll be alright in the long term. Okay. Anyway, don't just wait. Most of the time, it's at least can do a little bit of poke damage as well with your awaken before the fight starts. But yeah, I think once you've been at the good positions, though, let's for example see, for example, defense. It's been much better, much high uptime. It's looking better. By the way, for this map, usually it's slightly easier to start here because you can poke the enemy early and then see what they're doing. So if they go here,
Yeah.
then you can keep the setup this way. If they go on right side, then you usually have time to rotate to where you are, kind of. But
Yeah.
you, in a way, this is usually a more risky position because this is a more of a corridor where your teammates cannot see you. You usually need to have an
Yeah. Yeah.
angle with line of sight of your team, but still, this can work in theory. Kind of just because, and this worked for you, especially because
Yeah.
you are fighting the same area with your team.
Yeah.
That's the most important. You just can't have the higher quality, the angles you use later. If they walk here, because we start here, you can usually use this. You kind of walk on the pillar, and then after that you can push the enemy in. Or let's say your team, for whatever reason, they start being more aggressive, like playing A, really aggressive. Yeah, I don't know why, but yeah, you have to watch what they're doing as well. If they fight, then I can maybe push somebody in this way. Yeah, also finding ways to use the awaken there. But yeah, honestly, angles. Awaken before the fight can also be okay. Yeah. It's just usually slightly easier to do it here because well, it's just earlier for the poke damage to
Yeah.
get
It's
ult
sort of
charge.
also a 180 angle because they have to turn around
Yeah,
and
yeah.
fight me as well.
Yeah, exactly. I actually, yeah, since I had the same map, so I can exactly use this as an example. It's been 1 year ago even, but yeah, it's still
Yeah,
pretty.
this map's been here forever, and I wanted to stay because I really like the map.
Yeah.
It's kind
Okay.
of like defender sided, but I really like this map. I want them to remove the domination. What's it called? Krakoa one, I think.
Oh, Croco
The
one.
the one that has like four big trees in the middle. You know which one?
The four. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. Actually, I think yeah. I think you're right. It's just I don't
This
remember the part. I don't remember the part of this map exactly or how it's called.
Yeah,
But yeah,
but like this map, we all play bad in this map. Like all me and my friends, and it's just straight up
yeah.
annoying.
Oh well, it's okay. But see, most of the time, that's exactly what you're looking for. Kind of before the fight, I set up so you get a little bit scouting. You have to be careful about anything what can CC you though. So don't stay here for too long, especially if there's an invisible woman. But other than that, if there's no CC, then we can take advantage of this angle. Think what we can do next. I decide to play here because the enemy is sort of going this way. But see, you're we being really patient. Yeah, we're searching, but I can trap the enemy inside my space. So using the dash or you can also try to fight. It's a little bit more advanced in a way, but you usually trying to create isolation. You try to isolate the targets, right? So if I see anybody, well, I think it's not maybe the most ideal to use it on here, but let's say if the enemy team, even in the choke, if I can isolate the enemies we deal with, is just when they start pushing through it, then it makes it easier. It makes it easy for me to do damage. So what I mean is, you isolate so using cover correctly. So for example,
Hmm.
if I'm here, if I'm not able to really isolate somebody with the hammer, like back in the days, you cannot do the white turn like you do now. So you can maybe just do a little bit of damage as well. But yeah, it's another thing. I think the one thing I wanted to show is just the initial damage before the fight. But yeah, you can always be flexible later with the angles, the way you position. But still, just be contributing to the same area. For example, this can also be the good example of the fight where my team is here, I have the short angle this way, and then because we're fighting in the same area with them, there's a high chance for everyone, the magic, the Spider-Man to follow up in a way. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
just the same idea. Okay. Oh, defense worked out better though, so it's just been some problems later. Let me see. Yeah. Like here, this one is decent, by the way. Like a create isolation, dash. You have to decide. Once you have the opportunity to use your awaken, it's just mostly because you have a really good cover, or you just isolated the person, like, so they by themselves, then you can
Yeah.
easily use awaken. It's kind of good to keep it simple. Awakened, either yeah, I'm thinking it's either the kill because you isolated them really well, or if you have good enough cover, then you can also go for it because it's a high damage output.
Yeah.
Because, like, let's say here, if I use Awaken now, I don't have cover from this guy, so I can keep using the dash until I have the opportunity. So kind of keep pushing them towards my space. Also, this be careful with staying out in the open too much. So when you're trying to create the distance from the enemy, it's not necessarily gonna be easier for you to survive. You rather wanna try to think about how to get to the closest cover possible. So instead of me using the dash like twice, so we did the one dash here, second dash, and then we got to the third corner here. You can always think about the closest cover. In your case, well, where can you go? What do you think? So when you're disengaging, so it's faster when you use the dash.
I could go on the left side, to the high
Yep.
ground maybe.
Yeah, just go left side. Exactly. Go left side. You're not affected by the poke damage. You always skip the short range angle, and it's also gonna be high uptime. You see, but now these
Yeah.
guys are trapping you in because you keep going towards your team. Just go towards the closest cover possible. Make sure the angles are short. Yeah, you once you're
Yeah.
done engagement, yeah, you kind of thinking about the same idea. Why do we let's put it this way? Why do we need to create that much distance this way when I can already think about the setup, which is going to be shorter? Yeah, I instantly go here because a lot of people they think about disengagement as sort of let's go back to my team, but honestly, you can skip the step most of the time. You can once you're done the engagement, just set up
Yeah.
again. Set up, and your team will help you out too. They will heal you up, sure, but then you can re-engage faster. You don't have to do this. So going from 1 to 2, yeah, you can remove the second step and be already here.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
remove this step completely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. True. True.
Right. Do you have any questions so far,
No.
or okay?
No, not really. Yeah. No, nothing much to be honest.
Yeah.
Maybe like what we could do for the next time maybe since
Mhm.
we're looking at like for example here we spectated the convergence game mode. and here it's a convergence again. Maybe we could like next time we could do a domination one or like a payload one in case
Of course.
I wasn't able to apply these stuff in the same way
Hmm.
as you were saying. If you get what I mean,
No,
because like
yeah, I
domination is
understand.
like different setup, different stuff, different type
Yeah,
of
the objective is
stuff
not
I would
dynamic
say.
here. It's not moving,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, so if I wasn't able to like pull off this stuff, maybe next time, maybe
Mhm.
we could do that regarding that. But other than that, no, not really. I understand everything.
Yeah, yeah, perfect,
Yeah,
perfect. And I know again, this is something what you may not see a lot, but like I showed you, the bass players they still they implement the stuff, and
mhm,
honestly, the way the Thor works most of the time is just through diverting attention. First, your main trait, in my opinion, is not that you're really good brawl tank. You're rather a good
off
diver,
angle.
and then you're also good brawler after. Yeah, it's just both traits in a way. You still can brawl,
Yeah,
but it's just you also have insane amount of the well, not insane, but decent amount of mobility with your dash. You
I think
still
I
yeah.
think yeah, I think like the reason I like this tank is because I think he's the magic of the tanks. Like he's similar. His playstyle is sort of similar to Magic,
Mm-hmm.
because like Magic doesn't have focus, but like she's more like a brawler and a diver at the same time, and you can like kind of like waste resources with from the enemy team just with your slash,
Mm-hmm.
from off angles maybe. So I think Thor would be like sort of similar in a way, don't you think?
I would say yeah. There's definitely some similarity for sure. Yeah, because you're sort of more of a glass cannon. You engage, you do a lot of damage,
Yeah,
you have to disengage after. Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate. Yeah, this can be
yeah,
accurate in some way. Yeah.
yeah. Like yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's yeah.
That's really good. I think the next time, honestly, what I would focus on a little bit more, I will just mention that in our summary too. If we want to do Thor later, it's rather will be how do we use the Awaken? It's just gonna be for the high uptime because I think once you get the hang of the setup, it will also be more natural with when you use Awaken. But generally speaking, to keep it simple, we need to use Awaken when we whenever, but when you also able to survive comfortably. It's usually when you have cover or when you're fighting isolated target, stuff like that. It's usually helping
Yeah,
out because cover is you can isolate the enemy in a way. For example, if I use this building, if I keep this cover here, then the enemy they're not able to shoot all of them not able to shoot me. That's really good if I'm just able to kind of sit around some sort of cover. That's why you see, for example, here there's a good example of how isolation works. So I can fight isolated person with Awaken this way, or I can also use cover to just fight with one person at a time. So eventually, even though we're moving really hard here in the choke, see, I'm not dealing with everyone here, but I'm just dealing with one person at a time. Yeah, it's just
yeah.
always gonna be this way. Really, really important. But I think we can also focus on the more other specific stuff later. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, we mentioned quite a lot for today. I think with yeah, let's try to summarize what we went over with you today. What do you think? What do we need to work on based on our
Change
session?
my whole playstyle. Change my whole playstyle with Thor because I was playing sort of a frontline with Angela. Like play more off angle,
Mm-hmm.
try divert the enemy's attention to me instead of my team, so I can push with my team and we could win the fight easily. Yeah, like mostly off angling most of the time, trying in convergence, for example, in the best map in Black Panther's map, I could go to the high ground to scout early on the pillar. Um, yeah, these types of stuff. And if I see someone out of position, maybe I could hammer him into my team and get a pick, early pick.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Uh, and yeah, try using my ult. I should be going from like a 90 or a 180 angle to like trap the enemy in our LOS, so we could like get easy kills.
Yeah. Yeah. Sounds good. Sounds good. Yeah. I think also a really important thing is keep in mind where your team is. Make sure that you have enough short range angle. Yeah, you fight the same space with your team, so your space you're not too far. Yeah, short range flank. Short range flank. That's what you're looking for. Let's put it
Yeah.
this way. So when we well, not even flank, but let's say 90 to 180 angle, but it's gonna be exactly short range accordingly to where most of your team is fighting.
Yeah.
Okay, using your dash to set up is also completely fine. Usually able to use dash multiple times, don't hesitate to do so, because a lot of the times when you also try to set up, what happens is you find opportunities to get your dashes back anyway, because you have your hammer throw, the people will try to contest you in the angle. You can hammer throw, you can use your E, it doesn't matter, to be honest, for
Yeah,
now.
even if
And
my primary fire can get me one hammer back.
yeah, exactly. Just
Yeah.
always there's opportunity for you to get it back most of the time. Ideally, in an ideal world, we kind of using our stacks, the hammers here, to just set up first, and then after that, you have those stacks to be able to fight. So just two phases. Yeah, set up first, be patient, somehow get those back. Yeah, it can be done either by going for the damage, or you can just start to wait. Sometimes you can wait. It's okay, and then after that you go in and engage. Yeah, and I think engagement is a little bit tricky part, but yeah, I think what we're doing so far with the hammer isolating, I think it looks decent. Keep this up. Just with your ultimate, I think really watch out how you do that. Yeah, just making sure that you go on 180 angle, and also try to ult the chokes a little bit more, so
Yeah.
you're not exactly yeah, also waiting for too long, and also cutting. Yeah, you need to cut off the enemy rotation in a way. So they what I mean is, let's say, yeah, so cutting off. Yeah, for example, here, when the enemy are pushing this way, yeah, and then I ult behind them, then it's not possible for them to rotate defensively in my space and my ultimate, because I'm really threatening. I can They cannot. They have to take damage by either walking forward towards your team, or just walk back to your ultimate, because you ulted slightly behind. Yeah, you kind of cut off this defensive rotation, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Cut off defensive rotation as well. Okay. Also for the videos, do you want me to send you something? Let's see. Maybe I can send you this one.
Yeah, if you could send me any YouTube videos or any guys or any like even if it's like a whole game, I would review it myself. Like anything that you
Mhm.
think would be helpful, I would be happy to see it.
Let's maybe do this video first, especially the setup one. So what I will do with this, I'm gonna place the video in the summary. It's gonna be right here. So just in case, give me one moment. It's gonna be right here. I will put it in the, so let's just say video to watch, and I will link it. There's one
Mhm.
and also may find, yeah, I think there's some examples I showed you could also be okay. We'll see. Yeah, because the thing is, well, we'll also talk about when you can play in the main. There are times when you can definitely do that, but yeah, a lot of the times don't get confused, especially the Sure 4, like the Navix. Why to play main, there's always going to be the good reason why you stay there. A lot of the times it's just a big advantage, or maybe if you are
Charge complete.
don't have another choice what to do, maybe. But yeah,
Yeah.
overall, it's just exactly that. All right, I will send you the links. And do you have any final questions?
Not really, no. Um, nothing much. I would say, yeah, everything's clear.